Chapter 1107. It was a transaction worth $50 million. After a bit of haggling, Demi and Smith both agreed on $450,000 per woman. The conversation made the lives of these women sound like commodities to be traded for money. Neither of them felt the slightest bit of guilt over this clear case of human trafficking, even seeming smug and pleased with themselves. Wilbur could not help but sigh to himself. It was not hard to imagine just what would happen to these women. They were undoubtedly going to be peddled abroad and forced to work humiliating jobs until they turned old or caught an incurable disease. Their organs would then be harvested, and they would disappear from the world for good. Wilbur hardly dared to imagine just what these women had gone through thus far. Demi and Smith agreed on a price, then a time and location to carry out the trade. Demi got up after that, and the both of them shook hands before Demi returned to Leaker Corp with Wilbur. Wilbur was told to leave after that. Demi closed the door of her office, beginning to make a series of calls. Wilbur wandered around the company to supervise and look around, then headed back to his office. He closed the door and sat down, lighting a cigarette. He had tried to leave a spirit imprint on Demi just now. However, upon doing so, he realized that there was a mysterious energy cloaking Demi's body. Wilbur had retracted his spirit energy at once. He had noticed earlier on that Demi seemed to be wearing or carrying something that protected her, and he was able to confirm his suspicion by doing so. The item was definitely precious, something she had spent good money on. Wilbur would have to be careful about this. He was thinking about how to save these women. It was important to note that most of them were from Dasha. Since Wilbur had learned about the trade, there was no way he was going to stand and watch his own kind suffer such a fate. Demi did not seem to trust him fully yet either, which meant that there was no way Wilbur would be assigned to handle the trade. Wilbur remained in his office until evening. Demi only came to ask for him when she headed out to eat, and Wilbur spent the rest of the time sitting in his office silently. The workers ended their shifts eventually, filing out of the building one by one. The only people left then were Wilbur and the dozens of armed security guards on duty. Wilbur left his office as well, returning to his room. He sat down on the sofa, staring at the stone statue silently. There was still no news on Vanamatter, but Wilbur now had another task. Of course, Wilbur was not in that much of a hurry to find Vanamatter yet. Wilbur knew where and when the trade for the group of women was going to happen. He could very well sneak out and change for the group of women was going to happen. He could very well sneak out and change his appearance and save the hostages by force. Wilbur decided to form a plan to save these women with Oren. However, it was probably not the safest to make that call here. According to his spirit energy, Wilbur had detected that there were at least 3 hidden cameras in his room. Just as Wilbur was about to head out pretending to have dinner, the building alarm in the Leaker Corp headquarters went off. Wilbur's expression darkened, and he took off toward Demi's office at once. The dozens of armed guards on duty rushed to Demi's office as well, and the others prepared for a sniper attack. Wilbur broke through the door of Demi's office to enter, where she was sitting staring coldly at the gigantic control screen on the wall. About 100 masked armed men had broken into the building and were coming this way.